Chapter 7 Introduction to HTML5 Learning Targets Introduction to HTML HTML Editors HTML Tags Rules for writing HTML code Structure of an HTML document HTML Rules Creating and viewing an HTML document Editing an HTML document Basic HTML elements BR, P, HN, HR Text formatting elements Sub and sub-elements HTML comments Nesting of elements Computers are an important part of our daily lives. The Internet plays a key role in the widespread use of computers. Without the Internet, a computer cannot do much, especially when it comes to sharing information between computers. The Internet connects computers all over the world. It allows computers to communicate with each other and share data and information. A server is the main computer on the Internet. It stores and runs websites. The computers that access websites on the server through the Internet are called clients. Each website is made up of web pages, which may include text, graphics, audio, video, links, and hyperlinks. Have you ever wondered how these contents are added to a web page? A web page is created using HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the most commonly used language for developing web documents. HTML is a tag-based language, and different commands and codes are used to create a web page. To see the final result, you need to use a web browser. A web browser converts the HTML code and displays the end result on the screen. Remember, a web page is displayed on the World Wide Web. In this chapter, you will learn about HTML5. HTML5 is the latest major version of the HTML standard. The first public draft of HTML5 was released in 2008. It was officially released on the 28th of October 2014. Tech fact: Tim Berners-Lee is recognized as the father of the World Wide Web. www. Tech Byte. Links and hyperlinks are highlighted text that let you jump directly to a specific topic or page within a website or to another website. These links can also appear as images. Tech Info. In 1991, the first draft version of HTML was made public. It was called HTML Tags. HTML was created by Tim Berners-Lee. HTML Tools. To create an HTML document, you need two basic tools. HTML Editor. This tool is used to create and save HTML files. Web Browser. This tool is used to view the final result. HTML Editors. Like any other computer language, HTML requires software to write the code. These software programs are called HTML editors. The types of HTML editors used to create HTML documents are as follows. Text editors. To create an HTML document using a text editor, you need to have a good understanding of HTML coding. In this case, all commands must be entered manually. Some of the most popular HTML text editors are Notepad, TextPad, TextMate, Atom, Sublime Text, and more. WYSIWYG editors. WYSIWYG stands for What You See is What You Get. It is an alternative to manual coding. Unlike text editors, WYSIWYG editors allow you to create a web page without needing to know HTML code. These editors use graphical interfaces and tools to create and design web pages. With WYSIWYG editors, inserting images, tables, lists, and hyperlinks is easy. This method helps you create a web page quickly and with less effort. Some popular WYG editors include Microsoft Publisher, Adobe Dreamweaver CC, Setka Editor, Froala Editor, and more. HTML tags. Let us learn how to write HTML code. The main components of HTML code are tags, elements, and attributes. Tags. HTML is a tag-based language. Tags are the basic and most important part of creating an HTML document. A tag is defined by a pair of angle brackets. For example, HTML, the less than and greater than signs are used to define a tag. Remember, always start a tag with a less than sign and end it with a greater than sign. Less than, greater than. It is an opening tag, also known as on tag. It has only angle brackets. Less than / greater than. It is the closing tag, also known as O-off tag. It has a / right after the opening angle bracket. Each tag gives specific instructions to the web browser about what to do. Elements. The text or instruction that appears between the angle brackets is known as the element. The element enclosed in the angle brackets describes what kind of tag it is. For example, the above element indicates the web browser that this is an HTML file. The off tag of less than HTML greater than is less than / HTML greater than. There are two types of HTML elements, which are explained below. Container elements. These are HTML elements that have both on and off tags. For example, empty element. These are HTML elements that have only an on tag and do not need an off tag. For example, the less than BR greater than tag is used to create a line break and does not require a closing tag. The less than HTML greater than tag is another example of an empty element. It is used to draw a horizontal line. Attributes. You can change the default behavior of any tag by adding an attribute to it. An HTML attribute provides extra and specific information about an element. There are many different types of attributes that can be included in tags. An attribute has two parts, the attribute name and the attribute value. The rules for adding an attribute to a tag are as follows. An attribute is always specified and placed within the opening tag. For example, give a space after the tag. Add an equal sign right after the attribute name. Value is enclosed in double quotes. In this case, image.jpg specifies the file name. Another example of an empty element. Rules for writing HTML codes. The rules for writing the HTML codes are as follows. All tags must be enclosed within angle brackets. For example, less than HTML greater than, less than body greater than, and so on. Tag names are not case sensitive. For example, HTML is same as HTML. However, it is good practice to use lowercase letters when writing code. After opening an element, you must close each element. For example, some elements do not have closing tags. For example, less than BR greater than, less than HR greater than, and so on. Attribute values must be enclosed in double quotes, while attribute names are not case sensitive. Attribute values may be case sensitive. In HTML, spaces between tags are not recognized, so they do not affect the code. For example, both of the above statements are treated equally in HTML. The closing tag must have a / right after the opening angle bracket. For example, less than / HTML greater than, a tag name cannot contain any space. For example, less than head greater than is not treated same as less than head greater than. Moreover, there must be no space after and before the angle brackets of a tag. For example, less than title greater than is correct method. less than title greater than is incorrect method. Structure of an HTML document. A basic HTML document contains 4 essential tags, without which the HTML code would be incomplete. These 4 tags together form the basic structure of an HTML document. The basic structure of an HTML document is as follows. Let us learn about each element of the basic HTML structure with the help of Table 7.1. Element description HTML. The HTML element appears at both the beginning and the end of an HTML document. It is a container element, so it comes in a pair. The less than HTML greater than tag marks the start, and the less than /HTML greater than tag marks the end. Everything enclosed between these tags is processed by the browser to display the final result. Both the opening and closing tags are required. Head. The head element is also a container element. It is used to specify the identification and additional information about the document. It comes immediately after the opening HTML tag. Title. As the name implies, the title element contains the title of a web page. The text within these tags should be brief and relevant to the main content. This content is shown on the Browser tab for the web page. Body. The body element contains the data and information that you wish to display on the screen using a web browser. It has both on and off tags. Creating HTML document using Notepad. To create an HTML document using the Notepad text editor, follow these steps. Click on the Start button, Windows Accessories Notepad. The Notepad window appears. 2. Type the HTML code exactly as shown in Figure 7.2. 3. Click on the File menu, select the Save option, Fig. 7.3. 4. The Save As dialog box appears, Fig. 7.4. Choose the location where you want to save the file. 5. In the file name box, type in a suitable name with an extension HTML or HTM. 6. Click on the Save button. Viewing an HTML document using a web browser. Notepad is used only to enter the code. It does not display the final result. To view the HTML document, you have to use a web browser. Some of the most popular web browsers are Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, and Internet Explorer. Let us view the recently created HTML file using the Google Chrome web browser. 1. Open Google Chrome. 2. Press Ctrl+O key combination. Note, unlike Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome does not contain any menu bar. That is why this key combination is used. 3. In the Open dialog box, Fig. 7.5, locate and select the required HTML file. 4. Click on the Open button. The selected HTML file opens on the Google Chrome browser window, Fig. 7.6. Editing an HTML document. Like any other documents, you can make changes in an HTML document also. To edit an HTML document, 1. Locate the desired HTML file on your computer's drives or memory. Here we have opened the recently created HTML file. 2. Right-click on the file. A shortcut menu appears, Fig. 7.7. Place the pointer onto the Open with option. 4. Select the Notepad option in the submenu as shown in Figure 7.7. The HTML document opens in the Notepad. 5. Make the required changes in the file as shown in Figure 7.8a6. Save the changes by selecting File, Save. The next time you view the HTML document in a web browser, the changes will be displayed. Fig 7.8b. Basic HTML elements. To make your web page appealing and presentable, you will require some HTML elements, which are explained one by one. Line break element. In a text editor or word processor, you can start a new line by pressing the Shift plus Enter key combination. This adds a line break. However, in HTML you cannot use this command to create a line break. This is because web browsers do not recognize paragraph formatting in HTML text. Instead, the BR element is used in HTML to insert a line break in the text. Features of BR element. The less than BR greater than element is an empty element, meaning it does not have a closing tag. The less than BR greater than element does not have any attributes. The less than BR greater than tag is placed at the end of the line where you want to create a line break. One less than BR greater than tag creates one line break. Two less than BR greater than tags create two line breaks, and so on. Let us understand the use of less than BR greater than tag with the help of following examples. Example 1. Writing HTML code without less than BR greater than tag. 1. Enter the following HTML codes, Fig. 7.9 in Notepad. 2. Save the file with the extension HTML or HTML. 3. Open the HTML file in a web browser. You will notice that no line breaks are displayed on the web page. Fig. 7.10. Even though you entered the text on multiple new lines, the web browser displays all the lines as a single paragraph. Example 2. Inserting less than BR greater than tags in a document. 1. Open the recently created file. 2. Add the less than BR greater than tags at the places shown in Figure 7.11. 3. Click File Save to save the changes made in the document. Then open it again in a web browser. You will notice that the text following the less than BR greater than tags is split into a new paragraph, and the multiple line breaks appear where multiple less than BR greater than tags have been inserted. 7.12. Paragraph. The paragraph element P is used to display a block of text as a paragraph on a browser. It is a container element, since it has both the on and off tags. While it can be used as an empty element, it is best practice to use it as a container element. The syntax is: the browser adds an empty line before and after the paragraph. Let us learn how to use the paragraph element P. 1. Type and save the given HTML code in Notepad. Fig. 7.13. Remember to always save an HTML document with the extension HTML or HTML. Open the HTML file in a browser. Observe the output of the entered code. Fig. 7.14. Heading. Every piece of writing includes at least one heading. For example, a poem has a title. Newspapers have headlines. Textbooks have chapter titles, and topics have main headings and subheadings. The heading element is used to display text in a larger and darker style than the normal body content. It also adds a blank line before and after the heading. Let us learn how to display text as a heading in an HTML document using the heading element. HTML provides 6 heading levels, ranging from H1 to H6. Syntax. The "an" indicates a heading level which can be any value from 1 to 6. The HTML element tells the browser that the text enclosed between the opening and closing tags is a heading. Type the following HTML code in Notepad. Fig. 7.15. 2. Save the file with the name HTML heading labels. 3. Open the file in a web browser. Observe how the browser displays the different heading labels. Fig. 7.16. HR tag. In an HTML document, you can display a horizontal line across the web page using the HR tag. This tag is typically used to separate blocks of text or to show a thematic break on a web page. The HR tag is also known as the horizontal rule. It is an empty element because it does not have a closing off tag. 1. Type the given HTML code in Notepad. 7.17. 2. Save the file as an HTML document. 3. View it on a web browser screen. Fig. 7.18. Applying text effects. If you want to apply bold, italic, or underline effects to a piece of text in an HTML document, which tags should you use? To learn about these tags, carefully refer to Table 7.2. Operation tags. Syntax. Example. To bold the text less than B greater than tag less than B greater than slash less than B greater than I am learning less than B greater than HTML less than slash B greater than output I am learning HTML. To italicize the text less than I am greater than tag less than I am greater than less than slash less than I am greater than I am learning less than I am greater than HTML less than slash I greater than output I am learning HTML. To underline the text less than U greater than tag less than U greater than less than slash U greater than I am learning less than U greater than HTML less than slash U greater than output I am learning HTML. All the tags described in the Table 7.2 are container elements since they have both on and off tags. 1. Type the given HTML code. Fig. 7.19. 2. Save the document as an HTML file. 3. Open the file in a web browser. Notice the output. Fig. 7.20. Less than sub, greater than, and less than sub, greater than elements. Suppose your teacher asks you to enter some chemical equation or formula in an HTML document. For example, how can you accomplish this task? You have learned about the subscript and superscript formatting options in Microsoft Word. Since you cannot directly use these features in HTML, you will need to use specific coding for this. Refer to Table 7.3 for more details. Action, tag, description, syntax. Example. To subscript less than sub greater than, it displays the enclosed text slightly below the baseline. Less than sub greater than, less than slash sub greater than, each less than sub greater than 2 less than slash sub greater than, the output will be h2 or to superscript less than sub greater than, it displays the enclosed text slightly above the baseline. Less than sub greater than, less than slash sub greater than, less than sub greater than 2 less than slash sub greater than plus p less than sub greater than 3 less than slash sub greater than, the output will be h2 plus p3. Both the less than sub greater than and less than sub greater than tags are container elements. To better understand the use of these tags, type and save the following HTML code in Notepad Fig. 7.2.1. HTML comments. In some cases, you may want to add instructions or notes in an HTML file that you do not want to be displayed on a browser. To achieve this, you can use comment tags. The browser will ignore any text placed within these tags, so the comment will not appear in the final output. The syntax for writing comments in HTML is comment text. As shown above, the opening angle bracket is followed by an exclamation mark. The comment text is placed between a pair of dashes and the comment ends with the closing angle bracket. Let us see how the comment tag works with the following example. 1. Type and save the HTML code in Notepad Fig. 7.2.3. 2. Now open the file in a browser. You will notice that the text between the comment tags does not appear in the browser's output. 7.2.4. Nesting of elements. In HTML, one tag can hold one or more tags within it. This means you can use a new tag without even closing the previous one. This is called nesting of elements or nesting tags. For example, the HTML tag is the first tag in any HTML document and does not close until the end of the document. Within the opening less than HTML greater than and closing less than /HTML greater than tags, many other tags are used. Another example is the title element, which is enclosed within the head element. Here is an example of nested tags. Let us see how nesting tags works in practice. Correct method example. Observe carefully. In the above example, the tags did not close in the order they open. Rather, they close in reverse order. This is the correct method to close the nested tags. Incorrect method example. In this example, the tags close in the order they opened, which is incorrect in HTML. Let us understand the nesting of elements in HTML with the help of following example. 1. Type and save the HTML code in Notepad Fig. 7.252. Now open the file in a browser. Notice the output Fig. 7.26. Wrap up. A web page is created using the HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is a tag-based language widely used for web development. HTML commands are written in a text editor and viewed in a web browser. The types of HTML editors to create HTML documents: YZYG and text editors. Tags are the basic and the most essential component in creating an HTML document. The pair of angle brackets define a tag. The text or instruction that appears between the angle brackets is known as the element. An attribute refers to a quality or a feature regarded as a characteristic of something. Tag names are not case sensitive. For example, HTML is same as HTML. The BR element is used to produce a line break in text. The paragraph element P is used to display a block of text as a paragraph on a browser. HTML offers 6 heading levels, H1 to H6. The HR tag draws a horizontal line between text blocks. Use B, I, and U for bold, italic, and underline text effects. The sub and sub tags display text below and above the baseline respectively. HTML comments are ignored by browsers. The syntax for the comment tag is comment text. Nesting elements means placing one element inside another.